Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. This part is extremely important. Let's talk about rhyme and reason. There are a bunch of people who work the wordplay angles, and they were acting like psychopaths. They were making fun of people. When you hear this wordplay, you'll know that it's sound. You'll know that these words are connected and the rhyme is deliberate. 8, late, rate, fate, mate. Okay? Rate, the rate of understanding, the rate of doing things. The mate, right? When do you get your mate? Why did you miss out on your soulmate? What was the rate of restoring the divine order so things operate in an optimum manner that allows you to find the perfect person for you? Rate, late, too late. And everyone always thinks they have the right person, right? But how many boyfriends and girlfriends do they go through? Depending on X, Y, and Z, right? How many people do they go through before they find somebody they think is the one? But guess what? I hate to say it. I don't want to say it to some degree, but it has to be said. It's not the one. You all have settled. You all the children of Set. You're foreign to the Royal African Falcon Martial Art Order. And because the world didn't form together a certain way, that's how it ends. Unless you obey God through me and you're married or something and you both obey and then it turns out that it was your destiny and she's actually the one, that could happen. Otherwise, I don't quite believe it. I'll allow for the possibility that you stumbled upon your soulmate the wrong way. Okay, but it's extremely unlikely. I lean toward I must be right with when I said earlier that you all settled. Late, okay, too late, right? And gate, right? Gate, I'm the gate, right? I'm the way that people are right with God. Okay, the way to finish moral wisdom is to give the righteous king his rightful place. Proverbs 16:12, the throne is established in righteousness and justice. And they said, too late. A bunch of snickering people that operate behind the scenes that even killed Kennedy. First talking about people who did things behind the scenes, secret oaths, secret meetings, secret governments, and yes, as stigmatized as the phrase is, actually secret societies. The rate, late, fate, mate, gate. Now, speaking of gate, and 8, right? They ate your chances. They ate your soul. It's APEP eating the soul, the sun within you, the opportunity, the potential to be right with God inside of you. And APEP's also a phallic symbol. Some sniveling pedos and a sort of sexually immoral corporate, sexually immoral scum. Corpus, meaning body, as a root word for corporate, and of course, corpus, right? Corpus, the Latin word, corpus. They're on some pussy ass shit, and they're controlling the women. If you think that the rate, late, fate, mate wordplay is a coincidence, my goodness, you've lost your mind. Perhaps you think the word together, to get her, is a coincidence too. Or prepare is pre-rape scrambled. Compare is come rape or mock rape scrambled. Perhaps you think that's a coincidence too. You see, in order to understand this story, and I want you all to destroy that ego for a second, the false ego, not who you truly are. Come to who you truly are and destroy who they want you to be. They want you to do it the other way around. But you have to destroy that fake psychological construct nonsense and say, I am who I am, like Exodus 3:14. God said to Moses, go tell the Israelites, I am has sent me to you. I am who I am. I am that I am what I will be. I don't try to sound like some corny preacher, motivational speaker. Fuck all that shit. I'm Jesus Christ. The idea that is superimposed on. And they went the great distance to mock me like the soldiers with the crown of thorns and the cape. They spat on them and slept, they figuratively slapped me across the face and spit on me. And I trampled them. I took their spiritual lives, every last one of them. I cut them off from the city of God. And they think that it's smart to proceed, increasing their punishment. As their sins are piled to the heavens, Revelation 18, their punishment is being increased. Can always get worse. Just when you think the fire is the hottest thing, there's the sun. They could always get worse. And wickedness burns like a fire. So in order to understand this story, you have to understand that I am the ideal. Why? Because of the martial art principles, the life principles, timing, discipline, heart, willpower, justice, righteousness, what have you. That doesn't matter if I'm green, pink, what doesn't matter. You got to understand this. These things transcend race. If you're not doing the right thing, you could be blacker than night. It doesn't matter. It is a moral order, not a flesh-based order. The spirit is everything. The flesh means nothing. And a prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son. A prudent, righteous man who obeys God through me will rule over a disgraced martial artist who otherwise would have been a great falcon martial artist who doesn't obey God through me. So now we look at this thing, and of course where it matters most. Why was the ideal person, the light of the world, shedding light on romantic injustice, right? The light of justice, light of vindication. I've been vindicated by the facts, by wisdom, by God Almighty, in God's eyes, which is where it really matters. And I'll go off to eternal paradise at God's right hand as the top martial artist ever possible because of my obedience to the Lord. Why did they shun me? Now, I'm not trying to bash on them for their intelligence. Before I bring it up and say, shout out to all the females. I hope you scramble and obey God through me. They shun me because they're dumber than fucking dirt. Because they have no respect for righteousness. Because they look at things in terms of being a groupie, clueless, mall rat, worm. No offense to anybody. These are the facts. And if you're offended, good. And ask yourself why you're offended and who's right and who's wrong. Am I right and you wrong? Or you right and I'm wrong? Change your ways. Purge evil. Come to the light. And it takes a village to raise a child in a patriarchal society. So yes, fellas, guys, gentlemen, you are dead wrong as well. Why did you raise your daughter that way? You picked the woman. You're supposed to be the man of the house. You told her how to raise the daughter. And if you didn't, why the hell you letting the female dominate you? Does she have a whip too, dressed in all leather? You got to show her who wears the pants, but for the right reasons. You got to be right with God first, or you're just a pirate coming to snatch her goodies. Rape by deception, misdirection, subtle and otherwise forms of, subtle coercion and other forms of coercion. Okay? Rape by distraction, psychology-based rape, rape by deception. Rape by trickery, trickery-based rape, the tricker, the deceiver, devil, the deceiver, rape by deception, rape by devil, organized deception, and the residuals, the resulting kind of residual effect, right? The effects around the main effect, the different angles people play, the different way they play the game, the different side effects of the game. They shun me because they don't use their fucking heads, because a patriarchal society dumbed them down as well as the males, and the cycle continues, a cycle that will never be broken now. Why the serpents laugh, the jackals mock, the wolves howl. You brood of vipers, you poisonous villains. What will happen when the wretches meet their maker? Will they not be brought to a wretched end? Tell me, how many children are raped? How many starve to death every day? While you follow your dicks and your pea brains thinking you know better than God Almighty in His infinite wisdom. And as you write in your books, you read the Mason's book, Morals and Dogma, one part of it. I didn't read the whole thing. I read so much, but I read through it to some degree. I scanned through it. In a sense, I read the whole thing, but not really. I zoomed in on one part. And it said, the greatest battles in life, the greatest victories in life is the triumph of the higher self over the lower self. Depending on how you define these things, they're right. The greatest victories in life is righteousness. Is the triumph of righteousness inside you. It's your moral acts, right? The moral of a story. Why is it called that? Because it's morals, morality, more reality. Figuring out the moral of the story within reason, okay? Not being the master of telling stories and puzzles, but truly figuring it out and living it. And that has to do with your sense of well-being, your morale, if you will, and the people around you, your army of the Lord or the army of the devil, whatever the case may be, the morale of your troops. They didn't want Mr. Right on the right path, doing the right thing in his right mind, who's right for them.